where Charles Lutyens, the artist who created the wonderful mosaic that you see around you, will be giving us a talk about this work. I now invite Charles to come forward and share with us his experiences of this work.
As I said, my name is Charles Lutyens, I'm 82, and I made these mosaics in the earlier 60s, in the 60s, mid-60s. And I'm going to talk to you about them, about how they came about, and how they got finished. How it happened was that the architects, Maguire and Murray, came to me one day and said, would I do a mosaic of Angels of the Heavenly Host in this church they had. And I thought, wow, yes. However, that is not really where it started, because some months earlier they'd asked me, oh Charles, would you do a mosaic for the font cover, underneath the font cover? And so I said yes, and I thought baptismal font, mosaic, it's not hanging there anymore. Perhaps some of you haven't seen it, but it's the size of the bowl in the font, and it's a slate this thick, that wide, round, hanging from a chain from the roof, ceiling, and on a winch. So the priest winches it up, the baby, the godparents put the baby's head underneath, and I felt I wouldn't want to put my baby's head there. That could have been what went under the font cover for your baby to look at. And so the question is, what is the Holy Ghost? And the idea of bird, and the idea of breaking through, there's also the idea of a person coming through his own resistance when he's like this, problems, whatever it is, and he's stuck in his world, and before he actually yells or cries and breaks the whole reserve and defense system he's got, or whatever it is. And so this is like the rawness or the conversion of the person, the sort of realization. But I didn't really then take these to the architects, because I didn't think I wanted to put a mosaic under there to threaten or little baby. I had the idea that I was going to read the Bible throughout while in school. So lights out, down I went to my porch. I don't know how I got my batteries. And but there was Genesis. And I read Genesis, and I've stayed with me ever since. Angels of the Heavenly Host, I read, are angels that administer to God only. They cut his hair, they wash him, they go shopping with him, whatever they do, they administer to him, nobody else. And it's up at his throne. So it's up in heaven somewhere, and I found myself thinking, but I paid from experience. I do what I understand and know about. And I said yes to doing an Angel of the Heavenly Host. So I went to him and I said, look, I really can't do this. Can I do abstract? Can I do this? Can I do that? No, only the Angel of the Heavenly Host. So I played around doing this, and I took them to Rob and Paul, Bob and what's his name? Keith. And they said, this is very good. Took some, and they said, this is very good, it shows that we don't want. And I just more, and they said, excellent, it shows that we don't want. And then I was busy with corners, what I was going to do with corners, and so on. Then, was I was reading, and I thought, all the stories of angels is you don't know what they're going to look like before they appear. And an angel appears and says, and they turn up with a message or story or an event. So I went to them and said, I can't make you a design of angels. say no. I can't design because they appear. And so they were brilliant. They said, all right, Charles, appear as one. But will you do it in the office? And this is what you order. See? And we had 800 colours. I stayed 2 weeks in a hotel, bed and breakfast, on Main Street in Murano, trying to work out. I had no design, I had a limit of money. How much of which colours, seeing the different colours, am I going to use? Because I want to work out as a sort of gram or an ounce of colour, what's the cost. It's all got to work out within the money that I've been given. I had to sit in the room every day. I'm not good at mathematics and all that, working out. I did it eventually, but each evening, it was only about 10 days I think, each evening I would go down to the restaurant, cafe, and have my supper, my dinner, and a whole bottle of red wine. And I realised that either I had to take training 2 or 3 years, or I should get out of Italy, go home, and do my mosaics, which I did. I produced a sketch angel. It was so small that I had it in a corner, and I had to get on the other corner of the cupboard, and I had to get up onto the cupboard and squat on the cupboard upstairs, up to see it. Anyway, they said they liked this angel, so they said, all right, put it up in the church. So we put it up in this place here, and they came and looked and said, yes, we like it, finish it. So then I finished it. And the problem is that I have now some slides to show you about unfinished work. Now this is unfinished, because while this was going on, my first wife at the time, was divorcing me. She left me, taking my 2 children. She was French, so she went to live in France, and then she had a man. She lived in New York, and she lived in Poland. And I was angry, and I was hurt, and I was depressed. And so this whole thing about clearing an angel was problematic, because, you know, I would have been a better devil than an angel. And the question to be open for something in the word review to appear, angels appear. I have to get an angel to appear. And so I thought I would do work here and then there and then there, in order that I would not put all my depression into one angel. I would spread it around, and it wouldn't be that identifiable or that powerful. And we took these, we spent all the day, and of course we managed not to get the church too dusty. But this place is full of dust. And I didn't realise. I thought, this is manly work. Getting noisy, heavy machine, dust. I can breathe this. And now I have emphysema. And I'm sure it comes from that. I'm thinking, well, I haven't seen an angel. I thought, actually, it's as if an angel has intervened somehow. Someone being touched by an angel. It's not something that just happens. There's something else. And I thought, well, that gives me perhaps permission to do an angel. And then this is the question about how something comes into being. Doing this, do perhaps that much in the day, don't know, the whole thing took 5 years. And at the same time, other, quotes, artists, real artists, were having big canvases, big brushes, wearing abstract things and so on, and then selling them for a lot of money. And I wondered, is the angel going to appear? So this is fire, and the fire's got nothing in it. I thought I had put a man in it, or devil in it, but I thought no, fire's, so that represents fire. It has the same kind of structure as all the rest, and the lines go right through, right through. That one is earth. Now somewhere, I think it's back here, which you probably won't be able to see. But I've got some slides of it. I don't think I've got here. There's a beast's head in there. There's two nostrils towards the bottom. On the left-hand side, you can see a little black spot. That's an eye. And also on the right-hand side, there was an eye. It's a sort of cellular structure, a cellular pattern I've got, because it was like a sort of honeycombs and things like that. And I thought, you know, this is really awful. You know, white clothes, white halo, white angels. I can't do it. I've got to make at least one bloody black angel. I couldn't make it. You know, and I thought this is really interesting because the sort of culture of white, virginal, pure angels, light, it's all white, it's all white, it's all white, and black is unconscious, the darkness, all the opposite. I found you in a dance hall in London. Took a bag home, things like that.
It's called Maria.
What?
She was called Maria.
Maria Carmen. Very Spanish. And very jealous. Because I was married, divorced, but what I had was two young sons, lovely sons. And of course I was very busy with them and loved them and so on. And she used to get mad at me, so just you come up in her just jealousy. And sometimes you would get her, the ladder's not here, they're quite wide. The ladder, and I'd be going up it, so she'd get the bottom, try and shake me off it, and her language was frightful. The money ran out, and so we finished the thing, and there was no more money. And so I was left with this sense that it wasn't good enough, and it wasn't finished. So the beast in the earth pourer, the eye on this side, I didn't put in, and left a patch about like this big, which was just the cement, and no stones in it at all. Because that was my statement, that it wasn't finished. About 4 years ago, I came, and so whenever I came in, I would look at it and I think, yes, it's, wow, yeah. But look here, it's finished. It needs to be improved. This angel isn't really there. When I came in once, about 4 years ago, through that door, I looked at it and I said, wow, it's beautiful. And so then, a short while after that, before my exhibition here, which I had 2 years ago, 3 years ago. What?
4 years ago.
Oh, time flies. 4 years ago, so it was about 8 years, 6 years ago I came in, and I saw it and I said, wow, this is beautiful. And so then I was able, before the exhibition, to get a bucket of stones and put a ladder up there, which you don't have anymore, it seems, and tin of cement, and I spent about 4 hours putting the eye in on this side. But it has, if you look at it, you'll see there's 2 letters in it. One is C, the other is L. Charles Lutyens. So it's signed. That's finished. So that's it, really. So